Today, we're talking about light stands and how to open them up. We're on green today! No, actually, I had a black screen on earlier, but it was just a mess. Anyway, so you'll see, I have a couple different sizes here, right? I have the really massive, huge one that's about 16 feet. I have this one that's about 8 feet. And then I have a taller one right here that's also a... Here. No cheating. Oops. Ooh. Why do you wear shoes? I'm not. Because I don't want to mess with the green screen. But, so, we have this one, that one, this one, and this one. Really simple. They all open up the same way. So, first off, with this big, massive light stand, what we are going to do is you want to open it. There are two knobs. We have the bottom knob and the top knob. Top knob, quarter screw, quarter turn, and you release it, and then it pops it right open. When it pops open, what you want to be mindful of, you're gonna see one hand goes here, the other hand kind of goes on the opposite side, and you just help the legs pop out. Sometimes a leg gets stuck. All you do is very gently, boop, pop it right up. You can put it against your body, and then it opens it right on up. So we don't want to open it all the way up and fan it out. As you see, now it's massive. It's all over the place, right? We don't want that. I mean, unless you have the giant space and you're good to go, great. But obviously, we're in a smaller space here, so we're not going to do that. What we want to do is we want to have it a little bit smaller, just so it doesn't take up too big of a footprint. Now, the thing is, this bottom leg right here, right? We don't want that laying on the floor. We want it hovering up a little bit. So this feels about right. Once you have your correct, area, you tighten it, right? Lefty loosey, righty tighty. We tighten it up, and now it's tight. It's good to go. It will not fall. It will not splay open, especially when weight gets on here. If you forget to tighten it, and you put some weight on the top, the legs could right open. I've seen it happen. Don't do it. Okay. Next thing, when you want to open up the arms inside of it, when you want to open up the pieces inside of it, what you do is you loosen it and you open it. One thing I'm gonna tell you folks is really simple. When you're loosening it, don't turn this knob to the point that it comes all the way out, because these things can't fall out, right? We don't want that. You see right now it's super loose, but all you need to do, and it'll take you forever to close it back. Now it's tight. All you need to do is a quarter turn, or maybe you could do another one if it's really rusty and it's been outside for a while. You open it, close it, and you're good to go. Right? When you are opening these lights, and especially the really tall ones, you always want to make sure you do your top knob first. Now, this light stand is really cool in the sense that the head to hold the light can pop out here, and I have two different mounts. I have the 1/2 and the 3/4 that I could switch either or. To give me different direction. What's also cool about this one is you'll see that it has horizontal and vertical. I can switch is that right? Yeah. I can switch the axis of how I want the light to sit on this. And this one, the light can plug in on the side and it can shoot straight down. Other times, you just kind of straight on, and you're good to go. Right? I just use this. What's cool is you will see sometimes these stands come with protectors, so that you could just protect the screw and you don't mess it all up. One other thing to note, and you will see from my stand, especially because I've taught a couple of people on this stand, that you'll see that there's some scratches on this stand, right? And let's focus on it. You'll see that there's some scratches on this arm here, and that's because it was screwed in way too tight. Right here, you could see it definitely. Can you see it? There you go. It kind of ate into it a little bit too much. That was probably just over tightening on whoever was tightening. Most likely some of my end, or probably one of my assistants from back in the day. But ideally, what you want to do is, you see how this side's flat and these are round? When the screw is coming in to sit into the focus, when the screw is coming back to tighten it and lock this in place, what you want to do is the flat end is where the screw should be, so that it kind of just, the flat part of the screw sits right on it. I will try. I gotta change the lenses and all that because I have a wide angle lens right now, so that you folks can see that. But anyway, that's this massive tripod. The only other time, the one time that you would open up this bottom leg would be if you're on a rocky terrain, and then you open it, and then this whole bar actually slides down as so that it can really kind of be 4 points of contact into the ground. Very rarely, unless you're somewhere else, does it really happen. Most times in flat areas, we just use the through legs and we're good to go. Depending on the amount of weight that you have on top of this light stand, you would use a sandbag or you would use a weight to help hold it down. I'm gonna be creating another video so that you folks can see how to actually secure these light stands down, so that way they don't fall over, take people out. When you are closing this light stand, right, a word of caution is, and you'll see, and this is with every single one of these light stands, when you're closing it, make sure that when you're closing it, we do not put our hands in bad spots, such as pinch zones. Pinch zone. Pinch zone. If your hand's up here and you bring this up, you will pinch yourself. This thing is so strong that when you pinch yourself, it will make you bleed. So, make sure your hands are nice and clear. You can just kind of let gravity do its job, and you tuck it in tight. Boop, and you're good to go. And then we seal it. Nice. So, that was the big tripod. The smaller tripods, maybe also never lean it on the side for the thing to follow the rule. Lay it flat on the floor so it doesn't fall, break anything. Okay, so we have this one. This is a newer. You'll see that this only has one screw here, right? With the one screw, really simple. Quarter turn, it's loose. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna open it in a spot where I don't have a pinch zone, and I'm gonna open it up. You'll see again. I open up two legs. One of the legs doesn't want to cooperate. So what you do is you kind of just go in, pop it open, put it flat up against your body, open it up. I'm used to knowing that that's about roughly where they are. You close it down and put it down on the ground. Once it's down on the ground, it's flat. You're good to go. You'll see this also this does not have multiple heads. This only has a 3/4 head, so you can unscrew it, and then you reveal the bolt. But it all depends on what you're going to attach to this. Same thing when you are going to open the parts of the light stand open so that you can extend it. Did we see that? Right. So this specific light stand, there's some light stands that have built-in springs. I always say whenever you're opening a light stand, you don't know the tension of the spring, so you'll see that when I open it, I always open it away from myself. You never want to open it towards yourself or too close to yourself, because if the spring malfunctions, boop, right into your face. I've seen it happen. So what I do is I always kind of open it away, because when you'll see that when I open it, boop, popped right open. Now I know, luckily I know my springs, and they're not super bad, but sometimes they can malfunction and it just pops right open. Last thing you want to do is get pegged in the eye with your light stand. So, and you'll see, even this one, it didn't do it much, but you'll see. Look, boop, see, boop, has a spring in there. The spring and the pressure heads the spring and some of the tensions inside are really cool, in the sense that if, say, hypothetically you forgot to tighten it and you put something heavy on it and it falls down, it kind of prevents it from shocking. Because if you use a traditional light that has a bulb, that shock when it hits flat down on it, that could break your bulb. and then you got to take the thing apart and you got to replace the bulb. Hopefully you have a bulb. If you don't have a bulb, whew, your light guy screams at you. All that not fun stuff that you want to deal with. So sometimes it's cool to have a little pressure. But don't you do that, you kind of wear it down. So do note that when you are closing the ones with the pressure, what I like to do is I just put a little bit of pressure down and I just let gravity do all the rest. And then when I want to close it, I just very gently push it down a little bit and tighten it. And then same thing here. Push it down here and tighten it. One note that I would do is when you are closing the light stand, right? I have a tendency of closing the parts of the shaft differently than others. I know some people, they love lining them up and closing them, and for this one it works. You'll see that they don't get in each other's way. But this bigger one here, you'll see that if I have the heads lined up, sometimes it is just a hair off, and that is another pinch zone. So what I do to avoid the pinch zone is I always have them kind of opposite of each other, so that this way there's no chance that you're gonna get your finger caught in there and pinch. This one has no spring in it. This is just a normal one. You can see it opens and closes. Has the same exact kind of thread mount. It also has a rounder piece so that you can attach light modifiers. Same thing here. When we're opening up, quarter turn, pop it open, make sure your fingers are in the safe zone and not in the pinch zone. You open it up and close it down. You're good to go. Depending on how you can have a light stand for years and years and years. If you over tighten these and you strip the gears inside of here, you will have to replace the threads of the bolt. And it just never, you don't need to strengthen it so that it's never going to move again. You want to just have it just like tight and not tight. I'll see if I could find one of my old ones where that I actually cracked it right down the middle when I was first learning, and I tightened it way too tight. Don't do it. Okay, so the last one we're gonna have. Sometimes you'll see these light stands, right? This light stand folds up into itself. When you want to close it, we just push it straight up. Now notice when I'm pushing it, right? If I'm pushing it from the top here, I'm making sure my fingers are away from this spot because I don't want to do it. Ideally, you probably should not be pushing it from here. You should come up here and push it right on up. And when you're about to close it, pull your fingers out to the side, because if you close it like this and we lock it in, look, fingers are caught. Not fun. Granted, you could see my fingers won't fit, right? There's no room for it. But when you're closing it, especially when you're in a rush, don't lock it on your fingers. Watch your fingers. You need them. You need money makers. So, this is a light stand that actually folds up into itself. When you have this particular light stand, when you're going to open it, right, you loosen it. I already loosened it. And you can take the legs, put it up against your body, and pull it open. When you're pulling it open, you'll see that it's going to come out flat. What I've seen some people do is I've seen some people lay it flat like that. Can we see that? That's a no-no. Something will fall. That's not how it's meant to be. I've seen some people actually do that. These things actually, you go a little bit past it, and we lock it tight. See, I loosened it way too much. Boom, and we lock it tight. You want to have a little height. Granted, that's a lot of height. You can have a little bit less height if you so want. If you really wanted to make it more secure and you don't care about the actual height of it. But as a little trick, you'll see that this light stand has 3 chambers in it. It's not. Oh, it's not. Oh, and that can happen too. It's missing one of the bolts. This is an old light stand. So this is as high as it can go. You can see it's tiny, right? It's not even it's my height, so it's 5'6". It's not even 6 feet tall. So this is a really small light stand. What you can do as a trick to get a little extra height out of it is you loosen the legs, you pop them up, Pop them there. Come on, what's the matter? Boop. There you go. Pop them down a little bit more. And now it's a little higher. Granted, I would not put a really heavy light on this specific light stand. This would be for a light. What I would do, ideally, I would have it right there. Safe. You're good to go. So, yeah. That's basically opening and closing a light stand. And when you're closing this light stand, just again, watch out for your pinch zones. You can lay it flat. You can even use your leg to help close it. And we're just pushing it up towards itself. It will not close any other way. And then you lock it tight. And you're good to go. So, hope you enjoyed. Coming up next will be how to secure your light stands so that they don't fall over when you actually have all these modifiers and light boxes on them, and also not be destructive to your environment. So till next time, like, follow, subscribe. I'll catch you next time, filmmakers.